We are celebrating World Tourism Day in the hotel, which will be done on 27th, Sunday. This celebration, being the nature of COVID times, is by invitation, so it is going to be a little bit scientific, all virtual. However, most of the key stakeholders have been invited and represented by various teams and tourism enthusiasts. However, to curtain raise and drum up our activities today, we have arranged numerous things under the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. One of them will be the visitation of the hot springs that we are doing in Semliki, tracking of chimpanzee that we did in Kanyanchu, and also visiting Marerega Ninamwiru here in Port Portal. So these activities are not only to visit but also give us mileage to know what tourism activities we have in Port Portal. One, two, encourage domestic tourism and invite our visitors and clients to come and visit, see the resources they have as a country, but most importantly to assure Ugandans and every other stakeholder at large that Uganda is safe. As you see, we are going through all these areas, implementing the standard operating procedures that government put in place to ensure that we don't get COVID, we don't transmit COVID to others, but we enjoy our country in totality. That is very important because tourism needs to be kick-started, but also in safety. So this campaign is geared towards making sure that much as we have undergone a lot of trying times, it's time Ugandans come up and visit our local estates. We expect His Majesty King Oyo to grace the final functions at Nyaika tomorrow as our chief guest, and of course in attendance with other
These are the famous Sempaya Hot Springs. Here where we are is the female hot springs. These hot springs happen in the gender system, in that the local people around who have a clan from the Bamba, which is called the Mamaga, who have culture attached to these hot springs. And they believe one of the male ancestors whose work was to go and hunt in the forest disappeared at the male hot spring, and when the wife comes to look for the husband, she also disappeared at the female hot spring. So since then they normally come here to do some ritual sacrifice in respect of those people who disappeared here. But when we go to our physical geography, this is the surface manifestation of the geothermal gradient, or the heat that goes to depth, whereby you have molten rocks or hot rocks which are superheated. And when rainwater evaporates or water table gets in contact with those hot rocks, it is superheated and comes up through the fault line as hot springs. And these hot springs are in a straight line, mirrored, meaning they are happening on the common fault line. Thank you. And this is a surface manifestation of the geothermal gradient. These rocks, as you see them, they come in a liquid form and they give the friendly temperatures on the surface. We call them travertines, or you can call them calcium carbonate rock, and they five making such a fountain or higher. In other areas, this is 50 meters higher than that, but due to many years of hiding, some others have ceased, and these rocks are just there. You can see them in this Semliki National Park. These are the rocks. We call them
that are burning down.
Travertines or calcium carbonate. So if you get close to them, you can see they are cement mixed with sand. So it's kind of rhyme.
So someone can use it as light.
In fact, this, as you are around, you smell strange gas, which is hydrogen sulfide.
Oh yeah.
And there is too much sulfur in the water. In fact, that's why hot spring water is kind of syrupy. If you have any fungal skin disease and you bathe with it, it cleanses because the sulfur in it is too high. The water itself is alkaline. If you see around the white stuff, is some calcium carbonate, and there is white algae and green algae, there is iron sulfur. I'm the assistant for tourism, Semliki National Park. In Semliki National Park, we have a lot of activities that do take place. One of them is we have the hot springs, which attract very many people to come here, especially the schools. The hot springs is categorized into two. We have the male hot springs
and the female hot spring. All these two hot springs have the cultural meanings attached to it. The reason is a male person disappeared at the male hot spring, and the vice versa. So those are that's why we call them. That's why they are gender sensitive. And then that is one main activity that we have in Semliki. Then the other one is we have long walks. Long walks are done within the forest. While you're in the forest, you're viewing very many primates. For example, the monkeys, the white colobus monkey, the red-tailed monkey, and if you're lucky, anyway, you can also see a snake. You can see a lot of other things. For example, we have the butterflies. So that is another activity that we do have. So we also have the short walks. You can do the short walks within our trails. We always do maintain these trails monthly for accessibility to our visitors, and our staff use them. So in those trails you can see a lot of bird species with different colors. Yes. Then another thing that we do have, the main activity, is the vatwa. We have the vatwa, which is also our main activity. The vatwa have they were initially staying in the forest in Kibale National Park, but when it was gazetted to be a national park, the management, plus the European Union, they organized for them a place where they are staying. So they are no longer staying in the community, but as UWA, we organized a trail which is within the park that visitors come and access, and at the end of the day they get some percentage of the revenue, and that is, each visitor is supposed to pay 10,000, and at the end of the day that money is given back to the vatwa. The vatwas are still having the chance of coming to the national park to do fruit gathering, firewood collection, but on supervision, of course, so that it can help them in their day-to-day activities. Then another activity that we have in Semliki National Park, we have beautiful bandas. Where we are right now is at the Sempaya Visitor Center. From here up to the bandas, it's like 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer to access those bandas. We have the self-contained, we have the double bandas, we have the double bandas, and then we have the twin bandas and the family banda. All those bandas are self-contained and they are over on a cheap price. Every Ugandan or any visitor can accommodate to sleep in them. And then mainly, we also have birding as an activity. Most people come to view those birds. For example, in Semliki National Park, we have over 455 bird species, but you're going to see out of the 444 bird species, the 43% of them, that is, they are found in Semliki National Park. So we have a lot of bird species. Most of those birds that we have, some of them cannot be found anywhere in East Africa. They cannot be found anywhere apart from Semliki National Park. So that's what makes it very special for Semliki National Park. So basically, those are the main activities that we have in Semliki National Park.
Thank you very much.
those are my names. And this is Semliki National Park. And this area is called Sempaya Hot Springs. We have two hot springs, the female and the male. This is the male hot spring. And the reason why this one is called a male hot spring and the other one is called a female hot spring is because Semliki, the male hot spring, they were in Semliki National Park. They were staying some people inside the park before it was gazetted before 1932. So in 1932, people were chased out of the forest, and the forest was gazetted as forest reserve. And later, it was upgraded to a national park status in 1993. So before it was gazetted, people were staying in the forest. That is the native tribe, which is the Bamba tribe in the Bulbujo district. And there is a clan under Bamba tribe called Basaiga clan. So the Basaiga clan were staying nearby the Mungiro River. So they used to fetch water in Mungiro River, which is flowing from the mountains of the Rwenzori mountain ranges, making some falls. I think you can hear it sounding. Then it passes through the forest. So they used to fetch that fresh cold water. So one day when they had their pots and calabash had come to fetch water, they came across a stranger man who was walking in a zigzag way as if he was drunk. I think he was hungry and tired. So you know how women are, they're inferior and less muscular. They put that fear over the person whom they don't know. So they had to run, go back and inform their husband. So men picked interest to come and see that stranger man. They picked their spears and dogs. They came running. They came across the man. You know how Bantu we are. We speak different languages, but we listen. At least some words are similar. So they picked some information from him. They found the man was not bad, was not a harming man. So he took him home. They gave him food. They stayed with him some good years. They kept going back in the forest with him to hunt. So one day he admired their daughter. That daughter was called Nyasimbi. So he married, and after marrying, they managed to produce children, and he had to raise them up. But in that way, they had to keep coming back the forest hunt. So one day, after when they came back in the forest hunt, he disappeared, or he disappeared from his hunting group. So his fellow hunting members, they tried to search for him. There is a sun hot spring in the forest there. They found there his spear. They identified that spear is of Bamaga. Because then when they picked him in the forest, when they found him in the forest, they gave him the name Bamaga, meaning Kumagamaga, looking different sides, meaning that you are lost. So his name was Bamaga. He started his own clan and his own tribe because they didn't know where he was coming from. They didn't know his clan. So they picked that spear. They came with it. When they reached the male hot spring, they found the back cloth and the dog. You know, by then we never had these swampy clothes from the factories. They were using back cloth from the fig trees and skins and hides from wild animals which they were hunting. So they picked those three items. The back cloth, they used them because they were short of clothes. It got torn. The dog reached its lifespan, died, and the spear, up to now, they managed to preserve it at least. They still have it. They still with it. It is with the head of the clan. In the Bumaga village, that's where that clan is, the clan members. So when they went and informed the wife, you know when you lose a spouse, how we feel. You start crying, the wife, also the kids join the mom. So tomorrow they organized for a search. They came back in the forest to search for Bamaga. And when they came in the forest, the search took 3 days. They failed to get Bamaga. They reached the wife decided to get lost from the female hot spring. So they picked only the back cloth, and the kids identified that this back cloth is for a mom. So from there, they confirmed that our parents have got lost. They have disappeared from the hot springs, the male and the female. That's why this one is called the male hot spring, because Bamaga got lost from here, disappeared from here, and the other one is called the female hot spring because Nyasimbi, the wife of Bamaga, disappeared from there. Every month of November, they come here to commemorate their grandparents, and this this is the shrine where they do their cultural rituals when they come to remember or to commemorate their grandparents. They come here and do their cultural rituals, sacrifice goats, chicken, and some money. They saw there some coins in the main hot spring. If you go and walk on those boats, you can see clearly that water is very clean, very transparent. You can see some bones of the meat which they throw there and some coins. So men, after doing their cultural rituals, they move and join women the other side. They eat food which they have prepared. They do their cultural dances, then they go back home. They access this natural source freely. We allow them and we escort them.